What's the purpose behind the marketing plan? You excite, you educate, experience, and engage. Let's do this, right? Let's do this and let's have fun with it too. To my first-time listeners, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you being here.
Nathan, thanks for having me. I gotta say, it's 8 a.m. your time? Man, the energy that's coming is fantastic. I need it. It's like 11 years, so let's go. We're all guests in your home today, so thanks for having us. Yeah, I mean, Fencepost is a digital agency, right? Brass tacks, tactically, we do Google ads, Facebook ads, local SEO, and review automation. But really, all of that is housed under this larger umbrella of a mission to help these boring blue collar businesses that are the backbones of our local communities grow and thrive. Because at the end of the day, if those companies are growing and thriving, typically the communities they serve are also growing and thriving. And that's kind of the back end mission. Lead gen's really just a way we can affect quality of life for communities around the nation. Yeah, that's a great point. And forgive the business jargon. I mean, at the end of the day, lead generation sits in what we call the customer journey. And where does a new qualified lead sit in your overall customer journey? Well, odds are good it probably sits somewhere not quite at the top, but certainly not at the bottom after they've already made a choice to engage with your business, your nonprofit, whatever else. And so my company, what we're trying to do is we're trying to help the roofers, the plumbers, the HVAC companies, the electricians. We're trying to help them take their business that they know that they can go and put a new roof somewhere. They can repair an electrical panel or whatever else. We're trying to take that complete service and put it in front of the right people and get them to make a buying decision. But a lot of times what you see is people aren't just ready and willing to make a buying decision right then and there from, one ad or one touch point. It actually has to sit in what we said before, a larger funnel. And so the social media that you're doing, the website that you put together, the reviews that you have on Google Business, all of those play into what we would call the local growth formula to effectively take somebody from first exposure to your brand or nonprofit to actual engagement. And we're on a mission to do that for home services. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like your analogy of the map too, because I would actually lobby that the end journey or that the end destination really matters a whole lot. But if you're on top of a mountain and you fall down it, you end up at the same place, but that was not a fun journey, right? Like that process was not good. We need to take the most effective, but safest and most profitable route down. And I think that's where if we look at marketing as a whole and we look at it like a roadmap, there's all sorts of different routes you can take to that end destination, which at the end of the day, that's where we want to go. But there's a right pathway or a set of better pathways and a set of less profitable pathways. And so what we want to do is we want to really define who we're actually serving. We being your company or your nonprofit, we need to define like who you are actually serving. And then we need to understand that person that you're actually serving, what's going to get them to their end destination safest, most effectively, and in a way that brings immense value to all pieces of the puzzle.
Right.
Yeah, I'm out of Augusta, Georgia. We've got a team of about 8 folks, and where a lot of our roofing clients are dealing with hurricane seasons all across the Southeast. We love our lawns here in Gulf country. And so we've got a lot of landscapers. Home services really are just like the backbone and the bread and butter here, particularly in the Southeast, but we've got clients all over the United States. But yeah, and it's like a super small town too, I think. Yeah, it's down there. I think for local businesses, home service or otherwise, and local nonprofits, the number one thing that you can be doing to impact the number and quality of new customers that you have, new clients that you have, is go claim your Google business listing and start asking for reviews. that social proof component of that local growth formula that I was talking about earlier, that's critical. I mean, many could say it's the cornerstone of the entire customer journey map. And so just go claim your Google business listing and start asking for reviews on Google. That will transform your company overnight. Fencepost actually leverages a few different tools, but we're partners with a company called Nice Job. And Nice Job does review automation. Our big goal is to get a company to 100 reviews, then 500, and then 1,000. And those are 3 sort of benchmarks there. If we can get you up to that 100 review mark, well, we've officially cracked the code into your local SEO landscape. And we've made everything you're doing on Facebook, everything you're doing on Google that much better because we've got this foundation of social proof. When you see a review, at the end of the day, that's a friend that has said, we vouch for this business. We have had a real, tangible, and personal experience with this business, and we have said yes to it. We would feel comfortable referring that to you. And so that's our number one deal is we want everybody to go ask for more reviews, and we help people do that. Man, Google My Business is the expensive price of free. Yeah, it's the cheapest marketing you can get right now. It's so funny. I'm actually dealing with a couple of Google business listing woes right now, and profiles get suspended, or you have to go through an appeal process. Or you're dealing with like a big machine that is Google, but at the end of the day, you haven't paid anything for this massive billboard. That's almost the number one. I think YouTube is still the number one search engine. Yeah. I think TikTok is coming up fast, but Google is still widely used in that top 3 to 5 search engines, and it's free real estate. It's better than any $10,000 a month billboard you could have on whatever. So go claim your Google business listing. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, go check us out at fencepost.co, fencepost.co. We'll do a free assessment on your entire digital landscape. It comes in the form of a 5-minute video, most likely from me or somebody from my team. And at the end of that, you'll have some very clear low-hanging fruit things that you can go and tweak based on our local growth formula. Go check us out there. We're active on Instagram and TikTok as well, fencepost.co. Yeah. Well, it's also not a secret either, right? Like, these are very common principles. They're enterprise level principles that big Fortune 500 brands use. And we're just distilling them down to the local level and creating a playbook that really works for a lot of folks, whether they're just starting out or been around for a long time. It's not rocket science. Probably necessity or happenstance. I mean, it's not that exciting, but where we are today is different from where we were then. No, honestly, I was a late bloomer. I was like a junior in college 15 years ago and had completely squandered my collegiate career. And me and my best friend, we realized, man, we've got to figure this out. We both had lovely ladies who today are each of our wives. And we had to figure out how we were going to provide for a family. He ended up getting an internship at a thriving, large local agency. I got an internship that was unpaid at like the budding, we don't know if we're going to make it digital agency, which at the time just wasn't a thing. So fast forward the clock, had some really great mentors there. We got to do a lot of cool things because of our size, and realized that home services and our local community here in Augusta was truly my passion, and seeing that translate across the U.S. Google Ads was my first love in that agency, and that's really kind of been the launch pad tactically for a lot of this stuff. So that's the story. A little bit of happenstance, some great mentorship, and a passion for local. About that, goodness, about 14 years. 14, yeah. Yeah. And honestly, SEO was very different back then. It was, content based, super content heavy, a lot of black hat stuff. People were keyword stuffing everything. People were trying to scam the system. And nowadays, I mean, it's pretty pragmatic. Create value that other people want to consume, and Google rewards that. On the Google ad side and the Facebook ad side, the paid media side, tactics are always changing. But at the end of the day, I think that mantra I said a moment ago rings true. Just create value and experiences for people that are worth exploring and pursuing. You'll convert. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good question. I think there's a list, especially if you're a local company. Let's say that we're talking to companies that serve a local customer base. Let's start there. I think there's a number of things that you can do today for free that will really shore up your marketing foundation. You should do that on your own. After that point, it is time to engage a professional. And that point is, hey, we have claimed our Google business listing. We know who our customer avatar is. Like, we know exactly who we're trying to serve and why we're trying to serve them. We have developed an effective sales pipeline that's outside of any inbound marketing. We know how to march somebody from the beginning of our process to fulfillment. Once all of those things are established and shored up, then yeah, let's go get an awesome website built. Let's start really trying to get that website ranking for our top 3 keyword terms that are going to be direct intent and conversion.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then whatever money we have left over, let's put that towards ads and really start developing a 3x return ad spend strategy to get new business in the door. I think, like I said, there's a ton of things you can be doing before that point, but you need to make sure that you're doing those things before you start spending money on ads. Yeah. I think a lot of times people want to put the cart before the horse, and like Google ads or hiring an SEO or hiring, some sort of marketer is really flashy and it's exciting for your budding business. But in reality, like, there's some things that you can do to get yourself to the point where spending what it's really going to require to see a return. And that's the thing. It truly does take money to make money. Mm-hmm. And in order to actually have that margin and that cushion to see a return on your dollar, you've got to make sure your other points of contact are shored up. Make sure the coffers are full, make sure the pathways of engagement are clear, and then let's spend. I got a good 10 minutes. Yeah, that's a great question. I think defining what success looks like is paramount. I mean, if we don't know exactly what a return or like the North Star desired return is, if that can't be clearly quantified or defined, then we have no business spending money on ads. That's step one. Sometimes, like for a billboard, and we don't do any like out of home stuff. We're all digital. But using a billboard as an example, what is the defined metric of success for that $6,000 to $10,000 a month expenditure? I suppose it went up and there's a number of eyes. I don't know. That's hard to quantify to me. And that's largely why we focus on things that are measurable. So for us, it is, we know the exact dollar amount that a lead is worth. A lead is worth based on a specific formula. If we know that our sales team converts 20% of the leads that come in and a converted customer is $100, well, that means a lead, we are willing to spend like $20 per lead. That's actually bad math. But my point is, we know exactly how much each lead should cost because we know exactly on the back end how much each lead is going to be worth to our business. And having that effective feedback loop system in place is paramount for delivering success in a ROAS-based strategy. Because if we can't clearly quantify or define it, everybody's going to be frustrated. The ads manager, the client, it could be working, you could be singing, your business could be growing, but we have no basis of measuring where that growth is coming from unless we have a clear feedback loop in place. Did that answer your question? I'm passionate about that. Okay. Come on, let's talk. Yeah. I mean, I think either one of us, if you're a boring business, and I mean that with great affection, truly, that is like, boring businesses are their life. But if you're boring business, come see me. It sounds like if you have big aspirations for the white collar world and B2B world, go see Nathan. And just last thing I'll say on ROAS, really what it boils down to is be able to quantify what success is for whatever you're doing. And that's true outside of marketing, right? Like, that's a life principle. But especially with your marketing, know before you spend the money, what does success actually look like for this money? And that'll guide a lot of your decision making. Yeah. Agreed. It's okay to be biased. Yeah. I like it. Come on. Yeah. Feel free. We would love to have you. It's Southern hospitality is a thing. Yeah, come check us out at fencepost.co, fencepost.co, and fill out a request for a free assessment. We'd love to give you a little 5-minute video assessment. Take a look at what you got going on and see how we can help. Yeah, thank you, Nathan. This has been a joy. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
What's the purpose behind the marketing plan? You excite, you educate, experience, and engage. Let's do this, right? Let's do this and let's have fun with it too. To my first-time listeners, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you being here.